Hello everyone, welcome back again to Francis Entertainment Center, and next stories are called Orange and Black and Freaky Monday. Enjoy the video. On Halloween night, Garfield is woken up by trick-or-treaters at the door. He reluctantly answers and instead of giving, takes some candy from them. Eventually, he eats all the candy from the candy bowl, prompting John Arbuckle to go and buy some more. John finds that the only candy they have left is some taffy from the previous Halloween, tells Garfield to not eat them. Garfield decides he can get more candy by trick-or-treating and tries to decide on a costume. While brainstorming ideas for a costume, he overhears the television newswoman talking about Catzilla, a terrifying feline stated to be the only known surviving descendant of the saber-toothed cat lineage, inaccurately referred to as the saber-toothed tiger, that resides in the zoo. Garfield makes his Catzilla costume using black paint for stripes and the tusks from a toy walrus as teeth. He then attempts to make himself more hostile to fit the personality. To do this, he attempts to imagine 3 scenarios that would enrage him, ranging from Vito sadly announcing he's out of pepperoni toppings, a gym instructor attempting to encourage him to go on a diet, Normal moving into their home and rubbing it in, the latter of which does the trick. As Garfield goes out, John turns on the television for the news and discovers that Catzilla had escaped from its cage. Meanwhile, Garfield finds that people are terrified of him. He's able to get candy easily, although he's unable to get the one candy he really craves, peanut brittle. People soon report Garfield as the police arrive to capture him. Garfield manages to escape back home, where he tries to alert John, Arbuckle, and Odie see him and assume he is Catzilla. John reports the situation and Garfield is captured to be taken to the zoo. In the commotion, no one except Garfield sees the real Catzilla sneaking into John's house. At the zoo, Garfield attempts in vain to escape until he realizes he has to take out the teeth to get them to see him. A zookeeper notices he is not Catzilla, and Garfield is freed. In a panic, he rushes back home to warn John and Odie. Meanwhile, Catzilla starts to hunt the two by stealing a plate of food meant for Odie to lure one of them to the kitchen. Arbuckle then goes there where he finds Catzilla and is chased around with Odie. Garfield arrives home shortly and is chased with the other two. This causes a loop chase around the first floor of the house until Catzilla decides to break the loop and ambush them on the third loop, cornering them. As the 3 cowered in fear of being eaten, Garfield then noticed the taffy from earlier and quickly tells Odie to unwrap them. Catzilla then lunges right as Garfield throws the taffy at the beast's jaws, which closes them shut. The police soon capture it and Catzilla is returned to the zoo. The next day, John and his pets visit Catzilla at the zoo. While the zookeeper informed them of Catzilla's diet, which includes various delicious foods, including Garfield's long-desired peanut brittle for dessert. Delighted, Garfield decides to join Catzilla for a meal. In the middle of the night, Garfield is woken by Odie playing with a ball. Garfield wants to return to bed and chucks the ball outside, locking the door behind Odie. Odie spots an alien spaceship flying toward him and panics. The spaceship crashes straight onto the front lawn. Garfield assumes the sound was by Odie and disregards it. The alien gets out the craft and sees his Centium repulsor missing. Layman's missing Saturnian rush hour. Odie discovers the repulsor and returns it. The alien thanks him and plans to repay Odie. Using a device, the alien looks into Odie's memories and finds multiple instances of Garfield's abuse. The alien decides to fix the situation and teleports to John's room. He switches Garfield's and Odie's bodies and returns to the lawn. Odie is drowsy from the change and doesn't see the alien fix his spaceship and leave. Next morning, John is woken up by Odie in Garfield's body, licking him, which he construes as a joke. Garfield in Odie's body wakes up and is confused over his breath, location, and John calling him Odie. He goes into the kitchen to see Odie eating lasagna and sees it's not his real body, realizes the problem. Garfield's first action is to get Odie off the lasagna, but when the latter growls, he backs off. He finally realizes the validity of the situation and begins to panic. Making matters worse, John decides to take Odie for a run. Garfield spots Arlene doing the exercise, and after getting off John's leash, manages to convince her who he actually is with memories. She sees it as payment for Garfield's personality and behavior, but still tries to cheer him up, telling him he has new things to do as a dog. Garfield ignores her words till he realizes he can chase those he doesn't like and goes after Normal. Garfield tires out before spotting Odie heading up the house toward a Rottweiler and a Doberman. Garfield tries to protect Odie, but when the latter digs up the Doberman's lucky bone, they're forced to run. Odie disappears out of Garfield's sight. Herman Post sees Odie and Garfield's body walk past, and seeing it as his lucky day, grabs the cat and plans to mail him elsewhere. Garfield is able to save Odie from the mail truck and multiple boxes fly out. Garfield gets the wrong box after risking himself in traffic, finds Odie has just stolen from a butcher. Just as the duo are cornered in an alien by the postman, butcher, and dogs, the alien returns to Earth and seeing the situation, switches Garfield and Odie's bodies back. Garfield initially celebrates but is still beaten up. Garfield later returns home bandaged, and Odie allows him a spot on the chair.